how's my hair? Come here, Jaime. All right, let's do lapel chokes today. Okay. From let's go to mount. So you go on your back here. Right, some of these chokes might work better from like a side control arm staple situation, but I think we can learn all of them from like a mount position as well, and then we can just kind of like go from there. You can apply them across the board. So turn this way a little bit. Awesome. So first lapel choke, bread and butter here is I'm going to use my own lapel, since my lapels are going to be super accessible, and maybe my partners are going to be tucked in tight, depending in. And so I'm looking to establish a nice, solid kind of like tabletop mount. I'm looking to get under my partner's head with that arm, and I want to cheat to this far side, right? I don't want to be too heavy on my arm that's under the head, because when Jaime hits that bridge, yeah, we're going to get knocked all the way over. So I want to be able to cheating over to my right. Now when he goes to bridge, like I've got the weight here, I can use my legs to like go ahead and grapevine and keep my position. So we're using our lapel. That's out, we're under the head. We're pulling this through. I'm handing it to the bottom arm. I'm not looking to get this like overly tight. We don't need to choke up. We're gonna need some slack to play with here, right? And then Jaime, don't defend so well with those hands for now. We're gonna do that in a second. I wish that worked in the match. Stop that, that's too much. Hold on to that lapel, and then I'm gonna bring this hand across, and I'm just gonna go over my lapel, chopping in here, and I'm gonna keep my hand nice and rigid. Like a chop, I'm chopping it on the other side of that artery, and then I'm just gonna extend my elbows as we're kind of like chopping into the neck there. Okay, very simple, very like no frills approach here. The beauty of this is I hit this, I like to go under my arm, I'm under my elbow with that chop, and no matter which way Jaime rolls, let's go to, yeah, we're here, we just keep our guard and we stay in position. I'm just gonna extend again to get that choke, right? So if we were doing it from here, you're feeding up, under the chin, chopping in, creating that nice little triangle of action here. Hold this tight. I'm keeping this straight. We're chopping in to get that choke. Roll back. Same idea here. See how my arms are straight? I'm not like pulling in or trying to like scissor. It's this motion that's going to finish the choke for us. So again, we're on mount. I get under the arm. I pull out my own lapel. I feed it, we're coming right across the neck. If you need a little leverage, put my foot on the ground, step off, bring your partner's head up. Any questions about that so far? Yeah, that's the basic one. We'll start with that and we're gonna add to it. 1, 2.
You could do this from guard too.
You could do it from guard, absolutely. It's harder to set up from guard, just because if they have decent posture. It's just harder. So I would go under your arm. So go under your arm, keep that chop, use this blade of your hand, that's gonna put the pressure right here in his neck. Now pull this elbow off the ground and kind of sit up. Yeah, right. If your arm is down here, yeah, we're not getting the pressure we want on all sides of the neck.
That makes sense.
Right, so you have to like,
bring it up.
Yeah, and you can step up too, you can be here.
Right, really.
Yeah, you know. Yes. Yeah. You fine, Jaime?
Yes.
Great.
Four fingers.
So get this hand, put this hand under your, see how it's on top of your bicep? Go underneath, give yourself some space here. So that's gonna stay here and chop. This hand's way too far across. I need this lapel pulled tight to his neck. So grab down here, grab this, grab the tail of it. Now get this elbow off the ground, right? You wanna force his head, if I may, just move his head over here on your wrist. Now bring your elbow off the ground and chop, not into his throat, into the side of his throat. Look at this, look over here, there's no pressure, right? So come off for a second. So stay there, feed this through. Right, I want you to get this just like any other choke. Yeah, fully tight here. Now you can go to your elbow now to set up this second part, right? So now bring that in across his neck and under your arm, under your forearm. Now, Yeah, big difference, big difference, right?
Okay.
So, can you tighten up? Because I know you said like keep the space.
I want to keep that space because I want it to tighten up against your neck as I move away from you.
Okay.
Right.
So short, not tight.
I grab the bottom of it.
Oh, really?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm going to be forcing. I want to use my posture, and if we get up too tight, I can't really posture up. And I think like being here is not as strong as being here. So giving yourself the extra slack so you can get your posture up is what's going to help finish. Yeah. So if we're like having a kind of a name for this like concept of techniques or this like collection of techniques, I've always called it like just too many lapels, right? This is a great example because Jaime and I both have black gis. So when I'm getting on top of my partner, I'm getting into this position, I'm pulling the lapel out, I'm grabbing this, right? The first thing that your partner might do, it might be just to stop this hand, right? I can't get the hand through, exactly. Or they might just grab your own lapel. So now I can't use my lapel because Jaime grabbed it, and now he's like preventing me from getting around the neck. I'm gonna reach down here, I'm gonna take out my partner's lapel on the same side, also black, wrap it over the top of that wrist. And then I'm just gonna ditch this grip on my lapel and switch to my partner's. Now, we have his hand wrapped really tight here, okay? So we have a couple options here from this one. We can do both. One is I wouldn't say it's high percentage, but you can get it. I'm coming underneath their arm. I'm grabbing the lapel, and we're getting kind of Americana action if we keep going, right?
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal. We've got the wrist here. We're coming through. I grab underneath. Keep it tight. And then again, we're just like pulling through to the armpit.
Top.
Yeah, it should be really tight. Some folks, you can't find it. They have really flexible shoulders, whatever. So that's the first option from here. The second option is basically the same thing. I'm just gonna give a little slack. Jaime's gonna take his hand out because he doesn't want it in there. And I'm gonna put my hand in. And now we're doing the same exact motion as we just did, right? So we're putting him in that conundrum of like, defend the choke. That's gonna open up your own lapel. That's gonna trap your arm, which is hopefully a sub. And if that's not a sub, they wriggle their arm out or we can't find it on their hyperflexible shoulders. Good, their hand comes out. Put your hand in. Right, we go for that Americana. It's not there, give them some slack. They want their hand out of there. Now we've got this beautiful gap to put our own hand in, and it's the same motion as before, even stronger since we're wrapped over our arm that time. And again, watch my body posture here. I'm not staying here just like, slugging them in the throat. I'm picking my elbow up, right? We're bringing their head off the ground to like force them into the front side of that choke. So again, first motion, we just practiced lapel to the head. I'm looking here, he's grabbing my lapel. He won't let my hand in there. Keep this grip, make it a threat. If you want, you can also put your head over theirs. Now he can't even see what's going on. He can't see that the switch has occurred. He's still holding on to the wrong lapel. We work the Americana. He slips his hand out. We slip our hand in, and we chop. Questions about that?
When you're going after the Americana, are you worried about the bridge? Because it seems like you have to come up a little.
If I'm here and we're talking about like just after we've already acquired this, so I'm here and I'm here. Here's the thing, like when he bridges, like bridge the other direction, it's very difficult to bridge because you've got the pressure on the arm, right? You're very much like stapling that shoulder to the ground by turning the hand back towards the ground in that way. So we should feel pretty safe, as well as like we discussed earlier, I'm here and I'm cheated across this way. So now when he goes to bridge, yeah, exactly. I'm all the way across. I'm not drifting center line or over. I can get here, and I can keep leaning this way while we work that position as well.
So you're keeping the crossface.
Oh yeah, keeping the crossface the whole time. Because that factors in there. Because I keep the crossface because that lets me feed that thing back in if the Americana doesn't work. Yeah, let's try it. 1, 2. Come up. So now he can take his arm out. Right. I want him to do the work because if you overplay it, he's going to be like, I'm not doing that.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, you think,
want me to
okay, I
escape.
know what you know, and that whole conversation. So get here, we're making it, a position where we're going to keep working this. And he doesn't necessarily know that we got this grip or this grip, right? It feels slightly different. And then, I find that's not what people are thinking about. They're just thinking about my arm is trapped. They don't really know which hand is trapping it. And so when we get here, we transfer that grip and we give them that space. We're just like one in, one out. So, I don't want to overplay it. I don't want him to like start thinking too far ahead. I don't want him to start like considering all of the outcomes. I want him just to be thinking, my arm is trapped. My arm is trapped. My arm is trapped. He doesn't know whose gi it is. He doesn't know which hand is holding it. And as long as he's just kind of like trying to defend in the dark since he doesn't have any information, it's going to increase your outcome on these moves by, whatever percentage points matters. Cool?
Cool.
Great. There's a bunch more to this. Like, I don't want to overload us with too many options. I would say play with these, but you can take this and we can go into like baseball bat chokes. We can go into like, what do they call them? Like ninja rolls and all that kind of stuff. You can do all that stuff from just setting this up, that basic choke to start, which is probably the harder of all of them to finish. But it's the one that makes them like start running into all the spikes that are down the pathway there. Cool? All right, grab some water, come back, we'll roll. Oh. How's my hair? My hair's good?
What would be some tips that you could maybe give the viewers on getting into doing more lapel stuff?
You've got to play with it, right? I think there's a ton of great instructionals and people who are like true masters of the lapel, and everything has a name. But I think the first thing that you can do is just play with it. When I was coming up, we didn't have instructionals. We didn't have our easy access to a YouTube, Instagram sort of situation. So you just had to take a lapel out of there, take your lapel out of the belt, take their lapel out of the belt, and start playing with it. And go from there. And once you've feel good about it, play with it, find some things, and then go shore them up by learning from all like the absolute bests out there.
Sweet. This is good.
Take your partner, please.
I can't remember how good your north-south goes or so. So, it wasn't the choke?
Oh, sorry.
No. Yeah, it was a good person.
Yeah. I need to get my ribs more to you.
Yeah.
To get the
Yeah,
choke.
you had to like pull the shit here.
Sorry about that.
No.
That's what it is. But I just don't like liquids.
I was like, I can't remember if you said your north-south was good or not. I was like,
Yes, that's my.
I was like, let me just let him do it. I was like, I can't get out of this right now.
too much right there.
Too much? Really?
See?
Move of the day.
Oh man. Move of the day.
In reverse.
I didn't even know.
I know. I saw you when I grabbed this one, you're like, the eyes got real big.
Ah. Thank you.
So like an X choke?
Hey,
baseball
come
bat.
on.
Baseball bat.
Baseball bat.
Baseball bat. From the bar lapel, not the collar.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Once you get on those lapels.
You just start looking them up.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks. Let's do one more.
It's your fault, man. You wouldn't let me stay in my position. You wouldn't give me. You're fighting too hard.
I think I'm.
Try to get up and you're like,
How many times have you better?
Yeah.
But it's still.
just grilling and chilling.
Oh, yeah. The power's running now.
You did.
Is that a wrist lock?
Yeah.
What an
Feel like that. Feel like that. That's actually earlier. You're gonna go through that, yeah.
triangle situation, right? He's just like these double unders, and they go posture raise, thighs, right? And I had the collar like half wrapped. So when I got here, I already had really good connection on one side. Some pressure, yeah. So you keep your posture through that. The beauty of that collar wrap is it breaks your posture down. It's harder for you to do.
I think just there, like, if I feel like I have no movers,
Yeah.
I'm just too excited.
Right away, it's probably over.
Yeah.
Like you wait a little bit, you're like, oh, I'm going to be slow and deliberate, just like Coach says.
That's it, yeah, that's what I want to do. Sit there for the rest of the match.
Yeah. I just don't be afraid to be like, that's like almost like a transitional point. So you be done with that.
Okay.
Accelerate the transition, slow down the transition. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice work, open mat.
Good encouragement.